Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special treat for you today on the HammondCast show at KYCY. We're here in Frankfurt, Germany, in the offices of the Oberbürgermeisterin, Frau Roth. Mrs. Petra Roth is the mayor of Frankfurt, and I'm here with her advisor and press relations officer, Dr. Gunter Stemmler, and he's been very kind to come on our show this morning. How are you today, Dr. Stemmler?
I'm doing fine. Welcome to Frankfurt. I hope you enjoy. We have beautiful weather, and you come to our music fair, so it's a lively city, and you feel the music in the air.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for welcoming me, and I feel very welcome here. This is my 21st year at the Musikmesse, and we never miss this event because I consider it to be one of the very most important events in the whole world of music. And that's why we enjoy coming here. So many participants from many countries and all kinds of music. And the Messe Frankfurt is so fantastic at organizing these events. I have to compliment your Messe Frankfurt is really wonderful and very, very professional. So I see so many changes happening in Frankfurt. Can you bring us up to date a little bit?
That would need at least half an hour. In short version, my boss is the head of the board at the Messe, so we are proud that you say that you enjoy it. We are building new projects near the Messe. It will be a new little city, and we are very keen on to improve the transportation system. We did it 10 years ago, so that's very easy to come from the airport to our fair, especially if you want to go to the music fair. Mm-hmm. It's very easy to come from the fair to downtown area. You can do it in a subway in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And we have right now a discussion to have the possibility for 10 new skyscrapers in the city area.
Uh-huh.
So we are going into the high, and we are really keen on making the city more beautiful. So everyone who comes here have a walk at our beautiful river Main.
That's great. Well, we are always very impressed by the skyscrapers here. I know that the nickname of Frankfurt is Manhattan, yes. And because I live in Times Square in New York and Manhattan, I always say, today I'm going from Manhattan to Manhattan, you know. And one of the things I wanted to ask you about too, because in the past years we were very fortunate to do some broadcasting on AFN radio, where it was located next to the Hessische Rundfunk, and I was on the Bertramstrasse number 8 for so long, I think 60 years, until they moved to Mannheim recently. So when the American base moved out, many changes are happening to that area. What kind of plans have you got for that sector there?
No, we use the former housing areas for our own persons, for our own people. We had at that time a problem at our housing market, so it was good for it. Mm-hmm. As we, in addition, as I said, we are building new housing areas for our own. The population of Americans, I would say, stays the same. We lost the soldiers, but we have many lawyers and bankers who are working here, especially going east for East Europe. And we are very proud that we have such a large consulate general. We have more than 900 people there, so we have a good connection to our consul and consul general here. And we are proud that we have still the same numbers, or at least the same numbers of Americans here in Frankfurt, if not more.
Well, we have a very, very close connection with San Francisco and Frankfurt, direct flights all the time, and I must tell you, I love the Frankfurt Flughafen. The airport is wonderful. They have fantastic shops. It's very easy to come in and out. Lufthansa is very strong there, and they do a wonderful service with the Star Alliance. And you know, recently I got to meet Tony Bennett, who had a song called "I Left My Heart in San Francisco." It was a very famous song, and I told Tony, I said, Tony, I left my car in San Francisco, but I left my heart in Frankfurt.
Yeah, you can lose your heart here.
Yeah.
Frankfurt is really a city who is developing very fast, and it's an astonishing city. For example, we have the freshest fish in Germany.
Really?
You don't have it at the coast because they bring it from the ships to our airport. If you want really the best fish, you have to buy it in Frankfurt, not in Hamburg.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. And you have a tremendous, vibrant scene for arts and culture.
We have the highest budgets of every German city for the arts.
Wow. That's really interesting. We've attended wonderful concerts in the Alte Oper and the orchestra and the jazz big band with the HR radio. Hessischer Rundfunk is fantastic, and you have many great television and radio stations here. So it's really great to see that you support the arts and culture so strong here. And this is really one of the most international cities of all of Europe, I have noticed, and I enjoy taking the Deutsche Bahn. The trains here are so fantastic. The Hauptbahnhof from there.
It's the busiest in Europe.
I believe it.
Train station
I
is the
always
busiest in Europe.
couldn't believe how amazing the Hauptbahnhof is. You can take the train from there to any place in Europe. You can get on a train to Moscow from there, and you know I've taken many trains out of the Hauptbahnhof in Frankfurt, and you know, so the transportation-wise, arts and culture, and I understand you have some big changes in store for the Flughafen, for the airport, to accommodate some of the new flights from the big Airbus A380 coming in?
Yeah, we had some years ago built a terminal especially for planes in the size of the Airbus, and then everyone said, oh, we will build smaller airplanes, but then they changed their plans. So now we are the one airport in Germany, in Europe, who can deal with the big Air 380, and we are building the halls to do the maintenance for them. So we are prepared for everything. We only need a new runway. We have built it in some years. Right now we have 52 million passengers in Frankfurt, and we will go to 80 million passengers.
Wow.
So that if you come from San Francisco or wherever from the States, that you have a direct connection to Frankfurt, and from there to every place in Europe and the world.
Well, that's good news, and it's exciting news, and we want to encourage all our listeners, if you have never visited Frankfurt, make sure you put that on the top of your travel list. And we want to thank Dr. Stemmler for his time and coming on our radio show here on KYCY and KYOU at 1550 AM on the dial in San Francisco, the city by the bay. So signing off on KYOU, what have you got to say to our listeners, Dr. Stemmler?
I say to your listeners, hello, come to Frankfurt, we want to see you.